Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up the video, girl. Y'all already know. Notifications are completely shot. We're on our own out here in YouTube space, baby. Nobody knows that we lost in space right now because we've been going live back to back to back to back to back. So YouTube ain't fucking with the notifications, all right? The only way that we got a shot is if you guys thumbs up the video. I need all thumbs up, whether you are a bush baby, part of the replay gang. Are you actively in these streets with me in real time right now? We need that old nasty piece of thumbs up, girl. We need every bit of it, all of it, from everybody, all right? We need all the engagement because it's a mess. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in this situation, baby. It's like a lot going on. Like the tea spilling not over, and I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to give you guys a fully comprehensible breakdown of what's taking place because I haven't even had time to look over what we are about to go into. Literally, it's been like breaking news. I can't even get off one live without more breaking news coming, and I'm just hitting it, okay? So I don't know how much my brain is going to be able to brain since I'm going to just be exposed to everything for the first time. I might need to reread some things, relook at some things, re-listen to some things, and then come back the second time around and get into my personal thoughts, depending on what's all going on. But baby, the street committee was committeeing tonight, girl, all right? So we got audios. We got new amended complaints. We got restraining orders. There's all type of things going on, girl, when it comes to Megan Thee Stallion versus fraud motherfucking radio. So as you guys are coming in, please give me a nasty thumbs up. I need all that work. I need y'all to bully the thumbs up. Thumb it up not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another conscious crew member and letting them know that the Kang is motherfucking Kangin', okay? Also, shout out to all the new subbies. We're on our way to 51K. We're going to be there before the end of the year. I'm so happy that 50K just looked good on us, baby. All right. Also, make sure that you have your notification bell set to all so that you never miss a day or hour. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be a YouTube community or your MySpace, your Snapchat, your Facebook, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you laid the link. Just let them whores know that we're loud, we're live, and we're certainly in color. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, you guys, please come on in and thumbs up, child. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumb up, thumb up, thumb up. Y'all thumbs up, Cause baby, it's a lie. All right, let me go ahead and say hello to the conscious crew. What's going on, Andre? Hey, Foodie. What's going on, Freedia? What's going on, Aka? Hey, CTV and crew. Hey, baby. This motherfucking T got me running over like a chicken with no head. Okay, baby. It's a mess. Baby, they say the streets are towed up right now. They told up, girl. What's going on, Foodie? Hey, Bala. Hey, Keita. Hey, Lady T. Hey, y'all. Y'all thumbs up, girl. All right. Let's go ahead and just get straight into it, child. Because like I said, it's a lot of moving parts, girl. All these cases and litigation. Let me tell y'all something. This been happening every powerful retrograde. I remember the retrograde last year. I think things were going on with Whitehead. It was so many like litigations taking place at once, all at once, child. You know, and I'm seeing a similar retrograde this time around. The Diddy, the Jay-Z. Now we got Megan Thee Stallion. Now, you guys know about a month ago, Megan Thee Stallion filed a cyber stalking lawsuit against a failed, brittle bundled YouTube uploader by the name of Milagro Gramz, or aka Slob Radio. Okay. In this initial complaint, she alleged that this failed, brittle bundled YouTube uploader spread a bunch of misinformation about her, defamed her. There were invasion of privacy and disseminated a fake AI-generated SCX video that scams directed her bikini bottom ass supporters to go and search out in her likes or mentions, etc. child. All right. Now, you guys know that initially scams had got out here rolling her neck, you know, just feeling real bad and real bougie, acting like this ain't nothing. It's going to be a rinse and a wash, and it's going to be your old nasty piece of countersuit, girl. She was just rolling her neck, girl. She was just all in her big titty ass energy, baby. And then 48 hours later, she was crying aloud from the land, bitch. She was crying aloud, baby. She was scourging through her social medias and station heads, deleting content, baby. She was putting out statements about the GUN that she alleged had got lost in the Tory Lanez Megan Thee Stallion case, baby. She was correcting narratives, girl. She was feeling sorry for herself. She was getting dragged left and right. She was girl, just crying and crying and crying and crying loud, girl. Okay, I'm talking about like literally crying, girl. Okay, crying about there being narratives that she done been in doggy style for Tory Lanez daddy and she done smashed the crew, girl. It's just been a hot flaming mess. And the last time that we heard from Scams, she said she was going to finally shut the fuck up because she didn't want to further incriminate herself. But of course, because she's an opportunist and because she's a desperate ass clout chaser who desperately wants to be seen for talent she don't fucking have. Yes, God. Yes, God. Of course, she has no choice but to continue to talk because Megan Thee Stallion has been her biggest grift. All right. Well, what we didn't know is that Megan Thee Stallion was going to circle the block. And apparently, Megan Thee Stallion has amended her original cyber stalking complaint against this failed disgraced blogger girl. And she's also going for an old nasty piece of restraining order. All right. So we're about to take a look at the amended complaint. Y'all know it's a lot of amending going on, girl. Y'all know that the accuser in the Diddy case amended their complaint to include Jay-Z, girl. Now Megan Thee Stallion is following suit, girl. So this will be my first time reading the amended complaint. I have no idea how different it is from the original complaint. All right. Shout out to the street committee because y'all the ones who blew me up. Y'all the ones who got me the tea. Y'all got me the recordings. Y'all got me the things that are things that are things that are things that are things. All right. Now, once again, y'all know I don't care for Milagro Gramz. However, I'm going to continue on in my running theme to be non-biased. Even when it comes to hating assholes I don't fuck with, like Scams. I'm going to be unbiased. If I think her case is strong, I'm going to say that. If I think Megan's case is weak, I'm going to say that. My personal feelings toward Gramz will not infringe upon my ability to talk about the strength and weaknesses of the case. And if I'm not mistaken, the last time we reported on this case, Scams had actually responded to the original complaint, okay? And I said that her lawyers did a pretty good job. Her lawyers did a pretty good job in responding to the allegations thereof. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that they were going for a dismissal for failure to state a claim. Well, Megan Thee Stallion done doubled back around, baby. And I assume she's about to state all the motherfucking claims there is and then press the gas a little bit more. All right. So once again, you guys make sure that you guys are thumbing up. My notifications are completely shot. Y'all know it's been interviews back to back to back. It's been content back to back to back, girl. So YouTube ain't fucking with it. So I need y'all to run those likes up, please. All right. It's 42 likes. It's a damn shame. 42 likes. And it's 112 of y'all up in the building. Do better, y'all. Do better. Hey, Miss Mika. Hey, Denitria. Hey, y'all. So let's pull up the amended complaint, child. Y'all know all donation information is in the description box below. A good jazz, child, because a nigga been working. Woo, girl. All right, child, let's get into it, honey. Let me take a swish, girl. Let me quench my thirst. That's good stuff there. Yes, God. Y'all, let me just segue. Hey, Lady Sparkle. Hey, baby mother. Hey, boo. What's going on, love? Hey, St. Marquise. Hey, y'all. Hey, CC. Hey, Ian Gardner. Hey, everybody. Can I just say this, girl? Y'all know, right? I just reversed type 2 diabetes. Found out the news last week. Did an old nasty live stream, girl. It took me a year and a few months, girl, to get my A1C from a 7 to an A1C 5, girl. Completely reverse uno that thing through a plant-based diet, doing energy work, and just maintaining my personal peace of mind. Something I've been doing, and I didn't realize I was actually doing an intermediate fast, is I've been eating once a day. And then I just been kind of like sipping on liquids for the rest of the day. This whole eating once a day, it's just got me on fire. Like I have more energy. I feel better in my body, yada, 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 yada. My libido is vetoing, but I'm putting all that energy into working because you guys know I ain't really fucking with sex right now. I'd rather just use that energy, which is creative in nature, to just be creative, okay? But not with my dick or my buzz. Okay, but to be creative elsewhere, child. Okay, so I'm putting that into finishing my book because we will be an author next year. Oh, yes, we will, baby. There will be old nasty pieces of book touring, book signings, workshops, girl. Y'all know I'm going to be getting into my spiritual bag. I'm going to be touring the world, teaching people how to reverse all their bullshit, all their generational trauma, all of their health issues, girl, through proper dieting and energy work and spirituality, girl. We're going to be in there, all right? So we got things to do next year, but I've been eating once a day, and it wasn't even with the intent to fast. I just ended up only really having an appetite and having a gut that could only take eating once a day. And I don't know whether there's some type of fulfillment. I don't know if this is actually the result of me just being made whole, because I have also noticed that some of my appetite was generated from just like filling a hole, like just idle time, being idle-minded, and all of that stuff. You know, the hunger wasn't really about hunger. The hunger was really a response of a lack of productivity, and I was replacing that just by feeding my face. But I guess now that I've gotten into a regiment, I've gotten really active creatively. And I'm just really inspired now due to my recent doctor's visit and just getting this fantabulous news, like culminated with eating once a day. I just feel so good. I feel so clarified. I just feel like my cognition is like when you can feel your brain braining. Like I can feel my brain braining, child. My brain braining, girl. All right. So yeah, I don't know. I'm airing my Erykah Badu, Neo Soul Child Macy Gray. I feel like one of those damn Neo Soul artists, girl. Anyway, child, let's get into the amended complaint, you guys, out of the Southern District of Florida. Now, you guys know when we had originally spoke about this as well, that I spoke about there being possibly some jurisdictional issues And there have been some jurisdictional issues. Megan has had to double pile up on attorneys, as well as Milagro Gramz has had to double pile up on attorneys because her original attorney, which was the same law firm that represented sorry-ass Tory Lanez in his appeals that have not gone through, which is why he's still behind bars. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, girl. Okay? It's also representing Milagro Gramz. All right. Also, there's allegedly allegations that Megan Thee Stallion's team has pulled jail calls from Tory talking about scams. Okay, we're going to get into all those things too, girl. When I say Megan Thee Stallion is on Elizabeth Cooper's neck, baby, Megan Thee Stallion, Megan the Pete is on Elizabeth Cooper's neck, girl. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, brain tickles. It's nasty work, Andrea. Oh, yes, baby. I like this look. I know. I was feeling real Fifth Element today. Fifth Element. This is my Fifth Element. Y'all ever seen the movie Fifth Element featuring Trump supporting ass Bruce Willis, who was an amazing actor, especially for action-packed movies, and Lelu and Chris Tucker? I love that movie, baby. Okay, this orangey, ready hair is giving every bit of her. This is my tribute to her. Anyway, y'all distracted me. Leave me alone. Let's do it, girl. Let's get into the nature of the action. Defendant is the longtime mouthpiece. Wow. Came out swinging, girl, of Daystar Peterson, a.k.a. Tory Lanez, a convicted felon who shot Miss Pete in 2020 and has been working with him ever since to falsely brand Miss Pete an incompetent liar and alcoholic. As part of their vendetta, defendant spreads vicious and hateful rumors about Miss Pete to defendant's over 100,000 social media followers, causing Miss Pete extreme emotional distress. Defendant's malicious intent is clear: discredit and shame Miss Pete because of her testimony at Mr. Peterson's trial, which ultimately landed him in prison, where he is currently serving a 10-year sentence for outing Miss Pete. Even from behind bars, prison calls show Mr. Peterson is still orchestrating this campaign with defendant as his mouth. Girl, let me tell y'all, the first round, baby, the first round, I thought it was weak. It's looking like Megan Pete, baby, is about to bring that motherfucking heat on Miss Milagro Elizabeth Cooper, girl. So let's just unpack this real quick, girl. First and foremost, they now apparently have factual, tangible proof that Scams has been operating as a mouthpiece in this smear campaign, which now is a factual smear campaign because Tory has been found guilty of his crimes. So all this shit about Megan stepping on glass, lie. All this stuff that Kelsey ooted Megan, lie. Now that this case has been federally vetted and investigated and filtered through, not an Instagram filter like Scams pictures, but a federal criminal investigation, all these things that were participated in prior to the verdict and after the verdict are factual lies. Because Tory Lanez is factually in motherfucking prison. And apparently, even from prison without his wig, Tory Lanez continues to use what's left of his half-baked infinity stone in a orchestration involving Miss Milagro Elizabeth Cooper from behind bars to continue to viciously attack and disseminate false, fake, and injurious narratives. My God, today. And they have the prison calls to show, once again, that Mr. Peterson is still doing such alongside defendant. Woo! Just done got juicy, y'all. This is nasty work, baby. That's why I'm going to sit on YouTube and make it great again, girl. Y'all, baby, let me tell you something, baby. Y'all ain't got to worry about CTV and no shit, baby. Okay? Woo! Because, baby, when I run down on any bitch, baby, just like all them bars talking about, oh, Nicki Minaj's gonna sue you. Sue me for what? For the truth, bitch, because that's all I put out, girl. It's fact that she participated in spreading misinformation about Jennifer Huff. Okay, I played her station head recordings of her saying that that woman was much older than Kenneth Petty at the time. I have all the screenshots of her in her comment section and her audio from station head of her talking about this woman being a white woman. Just lies upon lies. Baby, I put out the truth. The truth. Now, you ain't got to like it. And you damn sure ain't got to love it. But what it's going to be is the truth, which is why you ain't got no choice but to be mad as hell. Ain't nothing that you can do about it, baby. But just be mad, baby. Just be mad, bitch. Okay? If I ever got to see any bitch in court, if I ever choose to see any bitch in court, baby, it's going to be a bad day for them, not me. Okay? I would be doing these hoes a favor by not letting you see me, bitch. Now, the lawsuit goes on to say that since Mr. Peterson's 2020 indictment for felony assault with a firearm after outing Ms. Pete to his latter conviction in December 2022, up through today, defendant has performed Mr. Peterson's bidding by spreading malicious falsehoods about Ms. Pete. Defendant does so by engaging in disgusting acts of harassment directed at Ms. Pete on defendant's online social media platforms. The only purpose of her statements are to bully, harass, and punish Ms. Pete for Mr. Peterson's conviction, to tarnish her reputation, and to cause her severe emotional distress. The lengths to which defendant has gone to harass and maliciously injure Ms. Pete knows no bounds. For example, she has promoted a deepfake pornographic video artificially depicting Ms. Pete purportedly engaging in sexual acts without her knowledge or consent. After defendant's promotion of this video led to a firestorm of negative reaction from others, defendant doubled down in a YouTube video on June 9th of 2024, claiming Ms. Pete was a professional victim and denying any wrongdoing. But defendant is wrong. Her conduct was unlawful promotion of an altered sexual depiction that caused and was intended to cause Ms. Pete severe emotional distress and reputational harm. My God, today. Ooh, baby, hold on, y'all. Are y'all catching it, child? Defendant has also defamed Ms. Pete and sought to destroy her reputation by spreading falsehoods, repeatedly asserting that Ms. Pete is a liar who perjured herself in the trial, falsely accused Ms. Peterson of a felony, and is continuing to lie to the courts. Incredibly, defendant has continued to spread such defamatory falsehoods even after Mr. Peterson was found unanimously guilty by a jury beyond a reasonable doubt for the exact crimes that Ms. Pete testified that he committed. Defendant attended the trial and is well aware of Mr. Peterson's guilty verdict, which is nearly 2 years old, but continues to spread a false narrative without any factual basis that Ms. Pete lied. Defendant has even publicly admitted to spreading misinformation about the trial. She first promoted the frivolous conspiracy theory that Ms. Pete was never injured by a GUN shot wound, but simply stepped on broken glass. She then claimed that if Ms. Pete was indeed shot, it was not Mr. Peterson who shot her, and later falsely claimed that Mr. Peterson is an innocent man stuck behind bars because the firearm from the outing is missing and cannot be tested. A complete lie. After perpetuating this misinformation campaign, defendant finally, on November 19th of 2024, admitted her claims were bogus. Defendant's false statements regarding the trial are part and parcel of a conspiratorial relationship with Mr. Peterson, in which defendant acts, keyword, as a paid surrogate used to spread Mr. Peterson's lies about Ms. Pete. Indeed, on October 29th of 2024, defendant implied that she was still on Mr. Peterson's payroll. Further, as Mr. Peterson's prison call logs obtained through early discovery in this case demonstrate, Mr. Peterson has repeatedly discussed defendant with his father. The two confidently asserted that Ms. Pete would never be able to prove that Mr. Peterson pays or paid defendant for attacking Ms. Pete. By consciously coordinating with Ms. Pete's convicted assaulter simply to amplify Mr. Peterson's disproven and baseless theories to help him seek retribution against Ms. Pete, the true victim of Mr. Peterson's criminal acts. Defendant engaged in extreme and outrageous conduct that has caused and continues to cause Ms. Pete severe emotional distress. Baby, now, like we all know, lawyers don't ever give everything away, baby, all at once. Now we know that they have retained, girl, the damn prison calls between Tory and his bald pappy, talking about how in Megan's case, they're never going to be able to prove that she was in fact paid. The gag about that is Coffee City has station head audios of Milagro Elizabeth Cooper saying that she has received money from Tory Lane's father, who is obviously an extension and an advocate and an ally to his son, which is why he jumped his ass on that microphone following the verdict, screaming about how Rock Nation is behind us. We also played those station head audios of Milagro Elizabeth Cooper stating that she did and has received a few $100 from Tory's father, that he has helped her out. Great grounds to establish acting as a paid surrogate and taking money as a result of being an unofficial member of Tory's team in an attempt, like this complaint is saying, to engage in extreme and outrageous conduct that causes and continues to cause Miss Pete severe emotional distress. My God, today. Defendant's defamatory statements are not limited to accusing her of perjury at the trial, but indeed defendant has repeatedly attacked Ms. Pete with false accusations that she is mentally retarded, requires a guardian, and suffers from alcoholism. Defendant has no personal relationship with Ms. Pete and no basis in fact to make such accusations. It is without question that Ms. Pete, a world-renowned hip-hop artist and Grammy winner, is not mentally does not have a guardian and is not an alcoholic. Ms. Pete has repeatedly taken to social media to address the toll that accusations of her lying about Mr. Peterson and the trial have had on her mental health and well-being. At one point during the trial, Ms. Pete testified to having suicidal thoughts. In response to Ms. Pete's vulnerability and pleas for peace, defendant suggested that Ms. Pete should just get over it or go away. Very similar, eerily, to the same thing that Unwind with Budweiser K said on the stand in the defamation suit against her that was victorious from Cardi B. Get over it. I thought she could afford therapy. Before we go any further, let me say this. It's now perfectly clear to me because, you know, we know enough about litigating and lawsuits to know that you got to build your case. Whether you are a defendant or whether you are a plaintiff, you got to build it, okay? Both parties got to build it and build a strong plight. The fact that Megan Thee Stallion's documentary and this lawsuit had all dropped at the same time lets me know that they go hand in hand. As the complaint is talking about Miss Pete's mental health struggles, her distress around the trials, the trauma around her shooting. That documentary was meant to act as a visual receipt to chronicle the way that Miss Megan had to navigate her life following what had happened to her at the hands of Tory Lanez. That documentary was meant to help build and show and demonstrate the stress she was under, the depression she was under, all the pressure she was being met with, and the way that she was emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically impacted, to the point that she was drinking heavily in order to cope with all of the shenanigans around the media, which Miss Elizabeth Cooper was a part of. All this was calculated, but not in a negative way, on Megan's part, but calculated in a way that things have to be calculated when it comes to dragging a bitch into court, because unlike the court of public opinion, in court, you got to substantiate things. You got to produce as much of a solid ground for punitive damages, reputational harm, pain and suffering. This is why y'all saw T.D. Jakes' lawsuit filed the day after his medical emergency. He's going out of his way, baby, to do all the photo ops, have the paparazzi waiting outside the hospital so he can speak in his weathered voice from his wheelchair about the goodness of God. And then all that press and campaigning, girl, zooming in via Skype, baby, from his home, from hospice, baby, speaking to his congregation about how the devil has not gotten the best of him. How he's still, baby, he got to build, bitch. He got to build upon the pain and suffering. We got to objectively show that these things almost took us clean out, baby. We got to accumulate medical debt, medical bills, urgent care receipts, bitch, okay? Where is your scooter? Where is one scooter? Baby, this is, oh, girl. This is powerful calculating, baby. Girl, and I'm here for it, all right? Let's continue to read, girl. Enough is enough. Miss Pete, a victim of a violent crime and champion of women's rights to her millions of fans worldwide, will no longer stand for defendants' campaign of harassment. She brings this first amended complaint for damages and equitable relief to end defendants' vendetta against her, the plaintiff. Okay, we already know all about the plaintiff, baby. She's a bad bitch, all right? The defendant, Milagro Elizabeth Cooper, also known as Milagro Gramz of our worlds, is a citizen of Texas who permanently resides in Houston, Texas. Defendant Cooper Mob's World website lists a Houston, Texas address as its permanent address. She has over 100,000 followers, some of whom are Florida residents, and therefore received her salacious and defamatory statements about Miss Pete. Girl. The court has subject matter jurisdiction over the state law claims alleged herein under, there you go, girl, said law statute and that statute there for supplemental jurisdiction. Because there is a complete diversity between the parties, the amount in controversy exceeds the sum of $75,000 exclusive of interest, costs, and fees, and all the claims are so related that they form part of the same case or controversy under Article 3 of the United States Constitution. The court has personal jurisdiction. All right, we ain't got to read all that. Exercise personal, All right, factual allegations, girl. Let's get to it. The criminal trial and conviction of Mr. Peterson. To understand the context surrounding defendants' defamatory statements, it is imperative to understand the history of Mr. Peterson's criminal conduct against Ms. Pete, his trial, and his conviction on 3 felony charges, which resulted in Mr. Peterson's 10-year prison sentence. On July the 12th of 2020, the LA Police Department conducted a traffic stop on Mr. Peterson's car after it received reports of shots fired in the Hollywood area, and Mr. Peterson's car matched the suspect's description. During the traffic stop, police discovered a firearm, warm to the touch, and with its magazine fully emptied, underneath the floorboard where Mr. Peterson was seated, and arrested him on charges of carrying a concealed weapon. On that night, Miss Pete was present in the car with Mr. Peterson and his driver, along with Kelsey Harris, Miss Pete's former best friend and assistant. Though the course of the traffic stop, it was discovered that Miss Pete had injuries to her foot. She was taken to a hospital for treatment. On July 15th of 2020, Miss Pete announced via social media that the injuries she suffered on the night of Mr. Peterson's arrest were gunshot wounds. Later on August 20th of 2020, Miss Pete publicly identified Mr. Peterson as the person responsible for ooting. On October 8th of 2020, the LA County District Attorney's Office charged Mr. Peterson with felony assault with a semi-automatic firearm for the injuries he caused Miss Pete on July 12th of 2020. The district's attorney office later added charges for illegal possession of a firearm and negligent discharge of a firearm. On December 12th of 2022, Mr. Peterson's trial began. The following day, Ms. Pete took the stand and a witness for the prosecution and the victim of Mr. Peterson's crimes. Ms. Pete testified that on the night of the ooting, she exited Mr. Peterson's car and was walking away with her back facing Mr. Peterson. When Mr. Peterson pointed the GUN at her and said, "Dance, bitch," and fired 5 shots at her, causing gunshot wounds to her feet. She also testified to the trauma she has faced since the ooting. Miss Pete stated, "Because I was shot, I've been turned into some kind of villain and he's the victim. This has messed up my whole life. The whole situation in the industry is like a big boys club. I'm telling on one of y'all friends. Now y'all are about to hate me." Ms. Pete has also testified to the online backlash she received from individuals who claimed that she lied about the fact that Mr. Peterson shot her or that she was even shot at all. Ms. Pete stated, "I can't even be happy. I can't hold conversations with people for a long time. I don't feel like I want to be on this earth. I wish he would have just shot and unalived me if I knew what I would have had to go through, which is this torture." She also testified to suffering from suicidal thoughts since the ooting. Defendant was present in the courtroom for the entirety of the trial, including Ms. Pete's testimony. On December 23rd of 2022, after a 2-day deliberation, the jury returned a unanimous guilty verdict, finding Mr. Peterson guilty beyond reasonable doubt of all 3 felony charges brought against him for the ooting of Ms. Pete. On December 12th of 2023, Mr. Peterson filed a writ of habeas corpus challenging his conviction. On February 26th of 2024, Mr. Peterson filed an opening brief to appeal his conviction. On October 23rd of 2024, Mr. Peterson filed another writ of habeas corpus challenging his conviction. The Attorney General of California has opposed Mr. Peterson's appeals and writs. Defendant is an online social media personality. Defendant controls and operates all of these raggedy social media accounts. Defendant has the power to determine the subject matter and specific content that is published on her social media accounts, and to remove or refrain from publishing content if she chooses. Defendant is the sole speaker, writer, and or editor of every post on her social media accounts. Collectively, across her social media accounts, defendant has over 100,000 followers, or bots, as I would say. Defendant has publicly admitted that she is not a journalist. She damn sure is not. Rather, it is apparent that she is, try as she might to conceal it from her followers, a hired GUN for Mr. Peterson. Wow. Defendant has conspired with Mr. Peterson and his father to execute a widespread campaign to maliciously injure Ms. Pete's reputation and inflict severe emotional distress upon her in retaliation for her testimony regarding Mr. Peterson's unlawful GUN violence against her. Before we go any further, is everybody in the building? Shout out to the 200 folk in the building. Please thumbs up, you guys. If you guys are still here, give me a 1 in the chat. Give me a 1 in the chat, girl, because we are working. Y'all, I've been working so hard. I've been working my ass off so hard, girl, that I have had to check to see if I still had a fat ass after working, girl. I had to check to see if that motherfucker was still there. All right. Okay, we got a 1. All right, we still in the building. All right, let's go. Just want to make sure y'all still with me, girl, because we ain't nowhere near the finish line, baby. We got quite a bit of content to power through in this case, girl. It is no secret that defendant has a close relationship with Mr. Peterson. Not only has she repeatedly demonstrated her support for Mr. Peterson on her social media accounts, she has publicly acknowledged her friendship with Mr. Peterson's father, Sunstar Peterson, in a February 27, 2022 Instagram post that has since been deleted. Okay, remember, old girl said she ain't been deleting shit. Old girl said she a bad bitch. Old girl been saying everything's still up, girl. All the recordings, all the live stream, girl, ain't nothing still up, girl. Miss Scams done tried to buy through and through Clorox and bleach the fuck out of her shit, just like the Nigerians bleached the hell out of Jesse Smollett, baby, on that cold winter vortex night in Chicago. And now she done been factually called out for trying to purge her goddamn platform after she done got out here following this damn lawsuit stating that she ain't deleted a damn thing. Just lying. Just a liar. A whole entire liar. You should know that once a lawsuit is filed, the facts are the lawyers already have what they need. You are a little bit too late. It is no secret. Oh, let's go here. A true and correct copy of a screenshot of the post is attached below. Baby, it's a whole damn video on top of that, girl. This is a mess. Girl, somebody go check on scams. Somebody go check on scams, girl. Oh my God, girl. Her and this bang, girl. Somebody go check on her, honey. Somebody go check on her and her bang. Okay? While defendant social media posts celebrating the Petersons portray merely an innocent and supportive relationship, defendant also has a financial incentive to act as a paid surrogate to spread defamatory statements about Miss Pete, while Mr. Peterson serves a 10-year prison sentence. In an October 29, 2024 live stream posted to her social media accounts, defendant implied that she is still, wow, on Mr. Peterson's payroll. And that's a quote. This is consistent with statements made by defendant's former best friend, King Noor, who exposed defendant for working alongside Mr. Peterson to smear Miss Pete's reputation. King Noor stated that defendant talks to Tory's daddy in an effort to leak information to the press that comes from Mr. Peterson himself, girl, baby, not to put it in witnesses, along with Scam's own words, girl. Moreover, as Mr. Peterson's prison call log demonstrates, Mr. Peterson has repeatedly discussed defendant with his father. In one phone call, the Petersons confidently asserted that Miss Pete would be unable to prove that Mr. Peterson paid defendant for attacking Miss Pete. Not him denying it, but bucking up against the fact that they won't be able to prove it. But since Scams already done said that she has received money from Tory's father, that's the connection point. No, Lanez is not allegedly paying you directly. He's paying you through his father, who's paying you, okay, on the back end. This is why they dragging that relationship out into the motherfucking open. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Right, Andrew? He said, y'all want to use best friends? Well, let's use yours. Girl, this is nasty. Oh, my God. On information and belief, defendant has also coordinated with Mr. Peterson's criminal defense attorneys, the same attorneys who have now agreed to represent her in the civil lawsuit to spread misinformation related to Mr. Peterson's trial, conviction, and appeal. As an early example of defendant's relationship with Mr. Peterson's prior criminal defense attorneys, defendant released confidential information to the public ahead of this disclosure in court in an attempt to manufacture a false narrative about Mr. Peterson and rally the public against Ms. Pete. For instance, In a February 23rd, 2022 live stream posted on her X account, defendant admitted that she and blogger Livingston Allen, quote, got the same sources, that Mr. Peterson's DNA was not present on the firearm. This, quote, source could only have been Mr. Peterson's then criminal defense attorneys, to whom the DNA report was turned over. In truth, at the pretrial hearing on February 23rd of 2022, held after defendant and Mr. Allen shared the misinformation regarding Mr. Peterson's DNA, no one stated that Mr. Peterson's DNA was not found on the firearm. In reality, the DNA results from the firearm were inconclusive, meaning that Mr. Peterson could not be excluded or included as one of the possible contributors of the mixed genetic material. On information and belief, defendant also coordinated with the Petersons to employ online bot accounts, not a troll farm, to attack Miss Pete and her supporters with hateful, derogatory, and malicious statements on social media. Wow. Further, defendant has used her social media platform to incite violence against Miss Pete. On December 21st of 2022, defendant posted a live stream video to her IG account wherein she stated, quote, "A bitch fuck with my nigga, I'ma slap that hoe, and whatever comes after it comes after it." Defendant's statement is reasonably understood to refer to Ms. Pete and her involvement with Mr. Peterson's trial. Defendant knew and or should have known that Ms. Pete was susceptible to severe emotional distress regarding the false and disproven theories defendant shared on behalf of Mr. Peterson. Defendant was present for the trial and Ms. Pete's testimony. During her testimony, Ms. Pete lamented that she had been turned into some kind of villain and wishes that he would have just ooted and unalived her if she knew what she would have to go through this torture. She also testified to suffering from suicidal thoughts since the ooting. By consciously coordinating with Mr. Pete's convicted assaulter to amplify Mr. Peterson's disproven and baseless theories to help seek retribution against Ms. Pete, defendant engaged in extreme and outrageous conduct that has caused and continues to cause Ms. Pete severe emotional stress. So what the lawyer just did there, so poetically and beautifully, is he basically just proved and showed to the courts, any potential grand jury members and the judge, that everything following the guilty verdict for Tory is malicious in nature because, for one, Milagro Gramz followed this trial to the point that her ass was present and kicked out of the damn courtroom at some point for being a heathen. Okay? But for two, because she bared witness to the trial, she bared witness to Megan Thee Stallion's testimony, she's very aware of Megan Thee Stallion's mental duress, her trauma, her agony. Therefore, following a guilty verdict on Tory, continuing on to try to punch holes in the story, continuing on to imply that Megan committed perjury, that there was no ooting, spreading misinformation about the GUM missing, and et cetera, has to be malicious. She was attempting to truly double down in retaliatory nature for her boss being locked up and continuing to attempt to injure Megan Thee Stallion's public image and her mental health directly. That's good stuff there, how they combined that to prove malicious intent. That's how we know it was malicious. You watched this woman cry. You watched her break down. You watched her talk about the way she had to drink and self-loathe through this process, how her psychology and social dynamics were changed forevermore, the public bullying and terrorism of it all. And you continued on in the same fashion even after it was factually proven that Tory Lanez ass was guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, which was a full vindication of Megan Thee Stallion. and her truth that she had been ooted and injured at the hands of Mr. Lanez. Oh, baby, that lawyer just did that, bitch. He just did all that. He did all that, girl. Okay? I didn't know how they were going to back up the whole acting like a paid surrogate, because I also had to remind the public. The attorney never called her in fact paid surrogate, but said she acts like one. But now we know why they're saying that, and it's because of the jailhouse calls between Tory and his dad, not denying the fact that she's paid by them, but arguing that they're never going to be able to fucking prove it. But the dumbass hoe is already on audio saying she's received money. And the dumbass bitch was stupid enough to say that shit even after being sued. Why would you say that? Why would you read this complaint and see what they are trying to allude to and then roll the dice and then admit that, yeah, you know, you might have received some money. You might have received some coinage at some point from Tory Lanez's father, and now Megan's attorney done pulled in damn audios between Tory and his dad talking about how they never gonna be able to fucking prove it. Where there's the proof, bitch. Jesus Christ. Let me see. Ashara Habo says, Jag then went live tonight and said it wasn't Jay-Z, but an ex-boyfriend who did that and claims the video was chopped and screwed. Hold on. What video? She can't keep up with her lies. Who video, boo? I ain't been looking at the chat, so I don't know the context. What video got chopped and screwed, love? Jag, let me see. Once she knew the star got her. Okay. Tory is not guilty, child. Hush. Hush, Renee, baby. Hush, girl. Hush, Renee. Okay. He's in jail. Okay. He's in prison, baby. If he ain't do it, go get him, love. Okay. Go get him, baby. That's all I can tell you, baby. If Tory ain't guilty, go get him, love. You and scams can go put on y'all banged wigs, baby, and just go down there and get him, baby. Go down there and get that innocent man out of prison, baby. Go down there and do it. Okay. Throughout Mr. Peterson's trial and continuing through today, defendant has engaged in a campaign of harassment on behalf of Mr. Peterson to spread false and harassing messages about Ms. Pete on her social media accounts. Commencing no later than June 8th of 2024, defendant began promoting a deepfake video purporting to show an artificially created version of Ms. Pete engaging in sexually explicit acts to her over 100,000 social media account followers. It is unknown who created the deepfake video. Ms. Pete had no knowledge of or involvement in the creation or distribution of the deepfake video, nor did she consent to or authorize the creation or distribution of the deepfake video. In June of 2023, defendant registered for an X account using the screen name Mob Worlds. In registering for an X account, defendant created a profile on X, including, among other things, a likes page on her X profile. Likes are a feature of X whereby a user can show their support for a post by clicking the like button, which is portrayed as a heart symbol under each individual X post. Likes are then recorded for each post and publicized as a statistic that is visible on each post. With more popular posts featuring a higher number of likes, a less popular post showing few to no likes. As with any X user, defendant's likes page on her X profile tracked and displayed the post that defendant liked. Posts which defendant pressed the like icon from her X account. Defendant's likes page was featured as a tab on defendant's X profile and accessible to all third-party X users. On or about June the 8th of 2024, defendant liked an X post that included the deepfake video by liking the X post. The post was archived to and displayed on defendant's likes page, and the video in the post could be viewed from her likes page by visitors. Defendant knew or reasonably should have known that the deepfake video was an altered actual depiction. Indeed, on the same day, defendant posted on her X account, with the way deepfake and AI be going these days, if it's not her, she should sue whoever made it. That shit dry as fuck to do to people. The her defendant referred to is reasonably understood to be Miss Pete. Nonetheless, on or about the same day, defendant further promoted the deepfake video by posting the following statement on her ex account. Go to my likes. Of course, defendant intended for this statement to encourage her followers and other members of the public to watch the deepfake video, which had been added to her likes page around the same time. When a user went to defendant's likes page, they could access the archive post liked by the defendant that displayed the deepfake video, which could then be played by anyone visiting her likes page. A true and correct copy of a screenshot of the X post is below. We didn't have all this in the original complaint. Baby. Megan's attorney, girl, he doubled back around, girl. He said, yeah, that was lazy work the first time around. Let me kick off in your ass, bitch, on the second chapter, on season 2, girl, of lawsuit. Numerous subscribers, followers, viewers, and other third-party individuals followed the defendant's advice and accessed the deepfake video via her ex-likes page. As one media outlet reported, the deepfake video gained popularity after the defendant liked the deepfake video post and encouraged her followers to view it. On June 8th of 2023, the defendant published a live stream video on her station head account where she discussed her Go to My Likes X post that promoted the deepfake video. In the station head post, the defendant said, if y'all want to be mad at something, this is what I'll give you. Be mad that I drew attention to it. Is this bitch dumb? Is this motherfucker dumb? You get accused in a cyberstalking / defamation suit of promoting a fake AI SEX video of Megan Thee Stallion, then get out here and try to litigate your case in the court of public opinion by saying that at best you said that you didn't believe it was true, but the allegation being made against you is not what your personal belief was. The allegation is establishing that you knew it to be fake. And of course, a fake SEX AI video is meant to embarrass and humiliate anybody it's about, and you chose to promote it. The allegation don't have nothing to do, bitch, with whether you believed it to be the case or not. The allegation is that you are aware that it's designed to humiliate Megan and then encourage folk to go like it, and then you're going to come out your dumb ass dick-sucking mouth and in quotations, in whole quotations, say, y'all can be mad that I drew a... I'm speechless right now. I am motherfucking speechless right now. Let me tell you something. I don't do scams, but there was a little bit of part of me somewhere deep down that was like, she got to have a smidget, a minuscule degree of a little bit of that common thing called sense. The fact that y'all, Milagro in trouble, girl. Bitch. This amended complaint is standing on all the motherfucking business, bitch. And clearly, Megan Thee Stallion's attorney heard my cries, girl, because I like, girl, this weak sauce, and they were sitting on all this. This should have been in the first go around. But let me tell you how Megan's attorneys might have uli opt her ass. They sent out their first shot to see what the response would be from Scams. And then Scam's stupid ass got out here doing all this yabba dabba doing, trying to litigate herself, and all she did was further incriminate her fucking self, which I'm going to assume was the legal tactic and strategy here. We're gonna make sure the first complaint is just a baseline, because it's meant to just be the first line of defense to trigger up her ass to respond, in hopes that she's gonna talk her ass right into everything we need her to talk her ass into, and the stupid motherfucking hoe fell for it. Was out here boldly talking, laying sideways, eating Bojangles on station head with a bonnet on, just out here loud and proud, baby, talking, just litigating, girl. And you done fucked up the damn thing. In the words of Funky Dineva, this bitch is in trouble. She's in trouble. She's in trouble, girl. She wasn't in trouble the first go around, girl, and I was the first to say it. Baby, you fucked around. And see, that's why folk were saying Megan's attorneys knew what they were doing. They just proved they did by amending this motherfucking complaint, baby, and slam dunking her ass, and then using all the booby traps they set in place that she fell right into with her weak, stupid, can't control her impulses and feelings ass. Getting out here talking, baby, and all that talking too done ended up corroborating and substantiating and being inscribed in the amended complaint. Girl, this is the uli op of 2024, girl. 2024 is ending explosively, bitch. Explosively, girl. I am shooketh right now. Girl, I am shook. They didn't even, y'all, we read this law. They didn't even have all this tea. The first lawsuit was meant to set her stupid ass up. Wow. Wow. Talk about strategists. Talk about, hold on, who representing Megan? Hold on, let me see. Hold on. Who is representing Megan Thee Stallion, Greg? Who her attorney is? Anybody know in the chat? Hold on. Megan Thee Stallion's attorney in cyber stalking case. Who is Alex Spiro? Who's representing Rock Nation representing Jay-Z, of course. Alex Spiro. Girl. It's Spiro, Andre, Jay-Z's lawyer, is the same one representing his ass against Tony Busby. And remember when I told y'all, if y'all were listening to the station heads, I was telling y'all Scams was already trying to line up the whole narrative, girl, that if she loses, it's gonna be Rock Nation. It's gonna be conspiratory. She already trying to set up the conspiracy. That whole girl, because remember when her ex-bestie, Wendy Wiggins, out here dragging her. You know, oh, he out here dragging me. He should be supporting me right now. I'm going up against Rock Nation. Rock Nation, girl. Rock Nation. Rock Nation. Oh, you already trying to set up a soft L by blaming it on the corrupt corporate powers. Y'all. What's going on, Chef? Hey, boo. Her only argument at this point is I did it. But they baited me because this was hook, line, and motherfucking... Y'all, I am shook. The way that Meg's attorneys display double dutch on Milagros head top girl, the way that they just... I can't... Let me tell you something. The thing about it, right? If we clocking what's happening, how in the fuck did Scam's attorneys not clock it? Because when she was doing all this talking and shit following the complaint, I said, it's unusual for somebody to be doing this talking who's in, you know, facing a litigation. And the fact that she had acquired an attorney, even though it was the same tied ass disgraced attorneys that can't do shit for Tory, I'm like, why y'all letting her talk? Now we see even more how incompetent that law firm is. Because not only ain't they been able to do shit for Tory, baby, they didn't even stop this girl from talking her ass right into a drywall. Talking her ass right into a fire pit. Right, the machine. The same thing that Hen said following her L. It was the machine, y'all. But these hoes think they Neo. They think they ass in the Matrix, bitch. Okay, going up against the machine, girl. I am shook. This amended complaint got me shook. I can't even go no further. I'm that shook. I can't believe the way they double dutch on this bitch's head top like this, girl. The strategy is, Megan, your attorney's girl. This why they call her ass. What they call her? The Epsilon Don or whatever the fuck it is, girl, in the court. Chef kiss. Chef's fucking kiss, Megan. Wow. Wow. And we only what? 14 pages in, girl. I don't even know if we're gonna make it to 43, girl. Baby, the way that Spiro circled the block, girl, 43 pages. I don't even, the first complaint wasn't even 43 pages. Let's move on ahead, girl. If y'all want to be, quote, if y'all want to be mad at something, this is what I'll give you. Be mad that I drew attention to it. Referring to her conduct in promoting and directing her followers to the deepfake video, which is what she's being accused of. She ain't been accused of whether she believed the video to be fake or not. She's being accused of intentionally promoting it, and they're gonna get her ass out here and admit to it. The next day, on June 9th of 2024, the defendant published a video on her YouTube account to her more than 74,000 subscribers that addressed her "Go to My Likes" X post related to the deepfake video. In the YouTube post, defendant shared an image of Miss Pete over a news siren that questioned whether Miss Pete is a professional victim. A true and correct copy of the screenshot of the images below. Woo! Defendant then shared a screenshot of the June 8th, 2024 X post that directed her followers to the "Go to My Likes" reference in paragraph 44. In her June 9th, 2024 YouTube post, the defendant affirmed that she had previously promoted the deepfake video by stating that she told whoever follows me on social media to go to my likes to see where it is, to see what it is that we're discussing. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, speaking of likes. By liking the deepfake video such that it then became archived and displayed on and viewable from the likes page of her X profile, and then by directing and encouraging her over 100,000 social media followers across her various social media accounts to her X likes page to watch the deepfake video. The defendant promoted, transmitted, published, distributed, circulated, disseminated, presented, exhibited, posted, and shared an altered actual depiction of Miss Pete online that was done without Miss Pete's consent. The defendant has wielded her influence on her social media account to engage in a sustained campaign of repeatedly defaming Miss Pete with malicious, knowing, and injurious falsehoods, accusing her of everything from lying under oath in Mr. Peterson's trial and falsely accusing him of a felony, being an alcoholic, and being someone who is mentally incapacitated and in need of a guardian. The defendant has not only spread misinformation regarding Miss Peterson's trial, she has also used her social media accounts to falsely brand Miss Pete as a liar. The result of defendant's conduct has caused Miss Pete severe emotional distress and mental anguish. At one point during the trial, Miss Pete contemplated suicidal thoughts. More recently, Miss Pete stated publicly that she would rather not live through this than to have to live with this. The defendant has made repeated false statements that Ms. Pete lied during her testimony against Mr. Peterson in trial and perjured herself. For example, on December 21st of 2022, a mere week after Ms. Pete testified at the trial and the day before jury deliberations began, defendant posted a live stream video to her Instagram account wherein she stated, at the end of the day, a bitch lying on somebody is low down. Yes, she got hurt, and that's cool. But how did you get hurt? How? And what are the circumstances? And what after that? So, bitch, if you think I'm finna be sitting up here boo-hooing for a bitch that played up in y'all face, not mine, because I always said her ass was lying. Bitch, I don't. You think I feel sorry for the bitch? I don't. The fuck? A bitch fuck with my nigga, I'ma slap that hoe, and whatever comes after it comes after it. Defendant statements, woo, baby, or woo, but malicious, okay, pressed, pressed, girl, and press loud and wrong. It's one thing to be pressed about the truth, girl, to be pressed about the truth and the facts. This bitch convictedly pressed and loud and wrong. Defendant's statements are reasonably understood to refer to Miss Pete because they refer to the woman who got hurt, Miss Pete, and assert that this individual lied under oath during her testimony at trial and falsely accused another person of a felony. Defendant's statements further incited physical violence against Miss Pete by stating, "I'ma slap that hoe and whatever comes after it comes after it." Additionally, on or around December 21st of 2022, defendant posted a statement to her ex account that accused Miss Pete of being a non-credible witness who falsely accused Mr. Peterson of a felony. A true and correct copy of the screenshot of the X post is, of course, attached below, as you can see here, girl. It reads, all this case taught anyone was that your father, brother, cousin, or son could face over 20 years in prison without proper evidence, a botched investigation, and another likely suspect just because non-credible witnesses said you did something and y'all slow asses cheer. Somebody go check on the bang, baby. Somebody go check on the bang, girl. The above statement is reasonably understood to refer to Ms. Pete as a non-credible witness and to assert that she falsely accused Mr. Peterson of a felony and gave false testimony under oath. On December 23rd of 2022, Mr. Peterson was found guilty by a jury of his peers of outing Ms. Pete incredibly, despite defendant being fully aware that Mr. Peterson had been found guilty. She nonetheless knowingly persisted in pressing the false narrative that Ms. Pete lied in claiming Mr. Peterson outed her. On June 22nd of 2023, ex-user Holiday K shared audio of defendant wherein she stated, quote, "I believe that this is exactly how they feel about you. Megan, I believe that is exactly how they feel about you. We know you a lying asshole, and you have absolutely ruined Tory Lanez's life." Defendant further endorsed the post by liking it from her own X account. Once again, defendant's statement is reasonably understood as asserting that Ms. Pete lied under oath and falsely accused Mr. Peterson of outing her and thus committing felony perjury because it refers to Megan, Ms. Pete, as a lying asshole who ruined Tory Lanez, Mr. Peterson's life. The following month, on July 23rd of 2023, defendant posted on her ex account that he outed her because his ego was bruised. She's the bigger star. That's never been a fact and damn sure ain't one today. Tory Lanez is behind bars, presumed guilty, getting better numbers and charting. Quote, defendant's ex post included images of Mr. Peterson and Ms. Pete's respective Spotify profiles, which listed each artist's amount of monthly listeners. Defendant's statement is reasonably understood as asserting that Ms. Pete lied under oath about the fact that Mr. Peterson outed her, that it has never been a fact that Mr. Peterson outed Ms. Pete, and that Mr. Peterson is presumed guilty as a result of Ms. Pete's alleged false testimony and accusations. A true and correct copy of a screenshot of defendant's ex post, of course, is right here for you all to see. Then again, on August 7th of 2024, girl, back to back, girl, at the posting, with reference to an entirely unrelated lawsuit, a former videographer filed against Ms. Pete in April 2024, and Ms. Pete's motions to dismiss in that lawsuit. Defendant falsely stated on her X account, quote, "Was Megan Thee Stallion caught trying to deceive the courts again?" This statement is reasonably understood as asserting that Ms. Pete previously deceived the court, which is a defamatory reference to her prior testimony in trial, and thus that Ms. Pete lied under oath in her testimony at trial. The above statements by defendants are false. Ms. Pete did not lie under oath in Mr. Peterson's trial and did not falsely accuse Mr. Peterson of ooding her. The truth is that Mr. Peterson ooded Ms. Pete. This has been confirmed time and time again, including by a unanimous jury verdict beyond a reasonable doubt. Defendant is the one who has lied repeatedly. In doing so, she has maliciously defamed Ms. Pete by accusing her of the infamous crime of perjury and of egregious dishonesty and falsely accusing another of a felony. And this caused substantial damage to Ms. Pete's personal and professional reputation by submitting her to hatred, ridicule, and disgrace. Defendant's malicious campaign of defamatory and harassing statements also encompass statements falsely accusing Ms. Pete of being mentally incapacitated to such an extreme extent that she allegedly is in need of a guardian and of suffering from alcoholism. Y'all thumbs up, baby. We working, child. For example, on January 29th of 2024, defendant posted a statement to her X account wherein she stated, "Let me go find this receipt of Megan's ex-bestie telling me that she wasn't fucking T. Ferris. That's her guardian." This statement is reasonably understood as asserting that Ms. Pete is mentally incapacitated to such an extent that she requires a guardian to make decisions for her. Worse, this statement is reasonably understood as asserting that Ms. Pete is engaged in an actual relationship with her purported guardian. A true and correct copy of the... They are putting an iron to Elizabeth Cooper's frail edges, girl. Quote, "Okay." Oh, later that day, defendant posted a statement on her X account wherein she stated, quote, "Okay, so back in 2020, I'm doing what I do now, and a rumor was circulating that Megan Thee Stallion was freaking T. Ferris. I reported on it, and since old girl and her friends, family watched my show, one of her besties that I had an internet rapport with hit me. As you can see, she said it wasn't possible for Megan Thee Stallion to be sleeping with T. Ferris because he was her guardian, like a father figure. I thought the verbiage was odd, but as time went on, I realized Megan Thee Stallion was slow and needed one, and it made all the sense then. This statement is reasonably understood as asserting that Ms. P is mentally incapacitated to such an extent that a guardian needs to be appointed to make decisions for her. Moreover, the receipt defendant referred to as proof of Ms. P Ms. P engaged in an actual relationship with her purported guardian disclaimed any existence of such relationship. Defendant made no effort to clarify or retract her earlier accusation in spite of her lack of actual evidence or basis in fact. Then again, on July 30th of 2024, defendant posted a live stream to her X account wherein she stated, quote, "What is Megan's mental status? Does she have a guardian or not? Has she been listed as a capable person? Has she ever been deemed like legally retarded, girl? After you get watched and rinsed, girl, by Megan and Alex Spiro, bitch, you gonna be a incapacitated ass person. Your ass is gonna be an incapable ass person, baby. Your ass is gonna be deemed legally very different. Like anything of the nature, anything of the sort." Quote, "Again, this statement is reasonably understood as asserting that Ms. P is mentally incapacitated to such an extent that a guardian needs to be appointed to make decisions for her." Y'all, this is a mess. The above statements by defendant Cooper are false. Ms. Cooper is not and has never been slow, legally, the R word, or incapable, incompetent, or of an incapacitated mental state. She is not and has never been in any state or condition for which a guardian or conservator would be appropriate under any circumstances. She does not now have, nor has she ever had, a guardian or conservator. Ms. Cooper's false statements are so removed from reality they constitute inherently improbable assertions for which Ms. Cooper had no basis in fact, but she nonetheless made these statements, which are reasonably understood to assert that Ms. Pete suffered from mental defects so severe that she could not care for herself or required a guardian or conservator to be appointed to make decisions for her. Such statements are directly injurious to Ms. Pete's personal and professional reputation. Defendant Cooper has also falsely accused Ms. Pete of suffering from alcoholism. On November 3rd of 2024, nearly a week after Ms. Pete filed her complaint in this action, defendant posted a live stream where she addressed the allegations in a complaint. Dummy. Girl, I ain't got no respect, y'all. I ain't got a single, it ain't a single lick of sense in scams. Girl, y'all thumbs up, girl. Y'all thumbs up. I am shook at, I'm shook at the level of dumb. She gonna go and post a damn live stream after the allegations in the complaint accused Miss Pete of unspecified crimes and stated Miss Pete was an alcoholic. Quote, you ought to be somewhere for your alleged crimes, drunkie. Why do you even speak? Like, does your liver even function well? The statement is reasonably understood as asserting that Ms. Pete is an alcoholic. Defendant has also implied that Ms. Pete was an alcoholic by falsely claiming that she comes from a family of addicts. For example, on an October 30th, 2024 live stream hosted on her Twitch channel, where she admitted to making many of the false statements alleged here, defendant stated, quote, when you have drinking seemingly running through a family, yes, I did post certain questions to my page. Yes, I did. Like Sunny said, girl, the way that Addicts Bureau done line scams up, she ain't got no choice but to say guilty, Your Honor. Because she, in the court of public opinion, practically saying, yes, y'all can be mad all y'all want to. Yes, I directed attention to the video. Yes, I promoted it. Yes, I said these things. Yes, Again, on or about the same day, October 30th of 2024, defendant Cooper posted on her social media accounts asserting that Ms. Pete comes from a family of alcoholics. Because the fact of the matter is, you have a grandfather that was an alcoholic. Was your daddy on drugs, or was he in and out of the system? What was that for? Do you want to talk about that? Is stealing worse than drugs and shit? Such statements are reasonably understood to assert that Ms. Pete suffers from alcoholism by virtue of having come from a family that suffered from addiction. This is what Spirit was wanting. That first original complaint was meant to cause diarrhea of the mouth out of scams. And I'll be damned, baby. Everything she done fucking did and said after that original complaint, baby, is in the amended one. And if the bitch keep talking, baby, it's going to be amended again. Okay? Superseded girl complaint. Although Miss Pete has never denied that she consumes alcohol, Miss Pete is not and has never been an alcoholic. There is a difference. Has never been diagnosed as an alcoholic or having any alcohol use disorder and does not suffer from addiction. Defendant has no basis in fact to publish her defamatory statements to her over 100,000 collective social media followers accusing Ms. Pete of substance abuse issues. Defendant acted with actual malice because she made her defamatory statements with knowledge of and or reckless disregard for the falsity of those statements. Indeed, even after a jury found Mr. Peterson guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of outing Ms. Pete on December 23rd of 2022, defendant, who was fully aware of the guilty verdict, continued to falsely accuse Ms. Pete, having lied under oath about whether Ms. Pete outed her. Defendant did, Mr. Peterson outed her. Defendant did so knowing that Mr. Peterson's guilt had been established in a court of law beyond a reasonable doubt. Accordingly, defendant knew that her statements regarding Ms. Pete were false or at the very least reckless, disregarded whether they were true. Defendant's malice is defaming Ms. Pete is also evident from the fact that she has admitted to spreading misinformation and falsehoods about Mr. Peterson's criminal act of GUN violence against Ms. Pete. Defendant's falsehoods of and concerning Ms. Pete, as well as her misinformation campaign about the trial, generally reflect defendant's deep-seated ill will toward Ms. Pete and her intent on pressing a preconceived and false narrative at the behest of Mr. Peterson. Among other things, defendant has reportedly promoted at least 3 false and debunked theories. 1, there was no firearm recovered at the crime scene related to the trial, and if there was, the LA PD lost or misplaced it. 2, Mr. Peterson was not the person who outed Miss Pete. And 3, Miss Pete did not suffer a bullet wound as a result of Mr. Peterson's criminal assault, but rather suffer injuries as a result of stepping on broken glass. And this was the thing. I'm going to keep saying it too. This broken glass shit, I don't even know. Like, I know how it made it into the talking space because Megan admitted she initially lied to police to save all of their lives after the killing of George Floyd. However, once Megan said she lied and said she was actually outed, any person with a non-biased critical brain and a bit of integrity would have also then had to ask themselves if they still were going to believe in the broken glass theory, where the fuck was the broken glass? Because we have whole chopper footage, courtesy of TMZ, of what the scene looked like. Where was the glass? They tried to say that Megan kicked with her hind leg the back window of the SUV. You can see that the back window to the SUV is still intact. The windows to the SUV are all intact. Where was the fucking glass? Where are the broken windows on the SUV? And why did everybody put that GUN in Tory's hand, including Kelsey, Sean Kelly, and Megan herself? Nobody else moved a broken glass narrative but Tory Ball Spot Lanez and what's about to be Ball Spot Milagro Gramz. Where was the glass? Hey, Jean. Hey, boo. Where was I, girl? Where was I? Hold on. Defendant falsely accused alcoholism live stream complaint. You ought to be somewhere. All right. We don't read all that. Denied consumes alcohol. Miss Pete is not. All right. We read all that. Defendant's malice in defaming Miss Pete is so evident from the fact that she also admitted to spreading misinformation. Reflect defendant's deep-seated ill will toward Miss Pete and her intent on pressing a preconceived and false narrative at the behest of Mr. Peterson. For example, on October 28th, defendant stated on X, the GUN and bullet fragments associated with the crime have gone missing. Didn't I tell y'all that the GUN was never presented in court and that ain't make no damn sense? And then lawyers and journalists had to get out here and tell her how damn dumb her and her senses are, because it is historically true that the GUNs in any type of criminal case normally don't even make it into the courthouse themselves. Instead, exhibits do, pictures do, but hardly on rare occasion does the actual weapon in question be brought into the courthouse for all to see. Dummy. They gave the serial number and breezed past it. Like, first of all, whose is it? Original point, please. This bitch. This girl, you know what I'm most embarrassed by? Not only is this bitch being sued, I think I'm most embarrassed by how loud and stupid. Like loud and stupid. Like loud and arrogantly stupid. Like loud and arrogantly wrong. Like loud and arrogantly defamatory. Like it's the loudness coupled with the wrongness and the arrogance that is just making me cringe for her in a way that if I were just a little ball of paper, I would just be so scrunched up. I would just be so scrunched up into a little ball because I'm cringing. I can feel my actual heart, girl, cringing. Like cringing. I'm cringe. This is cringy behavior. I'm cringy. Literally, right? Literally. Cringy. I'm cringy. I'm cringy. I'm literally cringy. It's the secondhand embarrassment for me. Similarly, in an October 28th, 2024 YouTube video posted to her account, defendant stated, quote, "How do you hold someone in prison when you don't have a damn weapon?" Oh, God. I can't do this. What was supposedly coming up out of Miss Pete's foot? In the same video, defendant also stated, quote, y'all did not prove that she was outed, as if there wasn't medical testimony, as if there was not x-ray testimony. Yes, the shell casings and the shrapnel went missing. The hospital lost it, but they had medical personnel testimony, exhibits, and prove that she still has shrapnel in her damn foot to this day. Okay, are you saying that the under oath testimony of doctors who are under a similar oath of truth and honesty and ethics, just like lawyers are, didn't tell the truth? To act like there were no doctors who corroborated it and there were not any other facts and evidences to support that she was outed is like wild, okay? But she goes on to say, so you don't have anything that would prove this actually even took place. But yet, you're going to single-handedly rely on Megan's word that she stepped on glass, even though there's zero evidence of glass. There's no glass in sight. Nobody else testified to glass, including responding officers who did not have to step over crunched glass. But yet, you conveniently believe that, even though there's zero evidence for that, aside from what Megan said, even though Megan retracted her statement and said she lied. There's more evidence that she was actually outed and that there's bullet fragments in her foot than there is any evidence for fucking glass outside of Megan Thee Stallion saying that it was glass. It's the selective hearing for me. Girl, the quote is long as hell, baby. Bitch just in here talking mad shit, girl. Quote it, girl. Okay? In a separate video posted the same day to her ex account, defendant stated, can you even prove that you was outed? None of the defendant's statements above are true. A firearm was recovered at the crime scene related to the trial, and it remains in the custody of the LA Police Department. Indeed, the senior property officer of the LA Police Department Evidence and Property Management Division confirmed in a sworn declaration in opposition to Mr. Peterson's writ of habeas corpus that the firearm remains in custody to this very day. Defendant could have easily verified this information, but chose to ignore it and instead promulgated lies about the integrity of Miss Pete's testimony at the trial and the criminal investigation into Mr. Peterson. The same is true for defendants' blatant misstatements regarding Miss Pete's injury time and time again. It has been proven that Miss Pete suffered a GUN shot wound to her foot committed by Mr. Peterson and did not injure herself by stepping on broken glass. Rather than acknowledging that, defendant has doubled down on her false theory and repeatedly published misstatements to her tens of thousands of fans across her social media accounts. Indeed, a December 2022 LA Times article noted that defendant showed no remorse for punishing or for pushing the Megan might have stepped on glass theory. It was not until this suit was filed that on November 19th, 2024, defendant for the first time admitted the falsity of these statements and shared the truth with her followers, stating, quote, from this day forward, today is November 19th, and the public has been made aware of this form. I have to acknowledge that the GUN, the bullet fragments, the magazine, and the bullet casing are with the Holy Spirit. Y'all. I can't do this, y'all. I'm not, y'all. Well, yes, there was residue on Tory. And matter of fact, there was more male DNA on the GUN than there was female. But because the DNA is smudged and muddied with female DNA, they can't determine whose DNA it actually is. There are like 4 different strands of DNA on the GUN, but ironically, the predominant DNA on the GUN is that of male. Defendant has repeatedly promoted at least 3 false debunked theories. There was no firearm recovered at the scene of the crime. Mr. Peterson was not the person who oohed, and Miss Pete did not suffer a bullet wound. For example, okay, hold on. I don't know how this thing keep going back up. Defendant also refused to cease making her false and defamatory statements after Ms. Pete publicly and repeatedly pleaded on her social media for individuals like defendant to stop spreading such false information. In response, defendant posted on her X account, quote, Megan wants to know what she has to do to stop being posted on certain outlets. My suggestion would be to just get over it or go away. A true and correct copy of a screenshot. Now, you know what's interesting? When this dumb asshole was litigating her own case in the court of public opinion, I hear all on station head, she responded to this claim in the original complaint and said, Megan Thee Stallion has never personally reached out to me. She's never personally been in my DM to tell me to stop doing anything. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. But you see the way that Alex Spiro just really up her ass again. Megan Thee Stallion made a general plea to all of social media, to all of the digital world, which includes her. And guess who fucking responded like a hit dog? Miss Slot Radio. So now you can join the two because you knew you were included in this general statement by Miss Megan. And like a hit dog, like a guilty motherfucking party, you responded and made contact and you put an address on it for her by responding to her general statement to all of media. Just dumb. In a separate video, oh, y'all see how this thing keep jumping like this? It keeps jumping. Let me see. Just stupid. And there's that exhibit, girl. All the exhibits, honey, of her putting the address on it. So now you can't say Megan never jumped in your DM, bitch. She spoke generally out to media where you are, and you include yourself in media, and you responded accordingly. Address sealed, bitch. Defendant published and reiterated the false and defamatory statements out of a desire to gain notoriety, generate revenues and profits for herself, and hurt Miss Pete emotionally and professionally. Indeed, since defendant began her campaign of harassment against Miss Pete, her social media following and online recognition has grown exponentially, resulting in massive public exposure and the potential for advertisements and sponsors. The lasting impact of defendant's defamatory statements, girl, it's caused her mental competency, purported alcoholism have caused and continue to cause Ms. Pete severe. All these rumors and claims have caused Ms. Pete severe and substantial emotional and mental pain. We ain't got to read all of that because we know that Megan has been psychologically injured and hurt, and we are aware of why. This lawsuit already has established great basis early on how Ms. Pete has been impacted by scams, denouncing that there was no bullet fragments. Okay, quote, so she ain't no bullet fragment foot ass bitch, but a glass fragment foot ass bitch. Could you imagine having to answer to this type of shit in court, baby? Could you imagine when this goes to trial, girl? Like, they're gonna, like, Lago's lawyers are gonna have to read her ghetto ass ebonics out loud to a room full of probably predominantly white people who got their shirts tucked into their pants, girl, and their breeches all the way up to their areolas. And they're going to have to hear in court a motherfucker saying, so she ain't no bullet fragment foot ass bitch, but a glass fragment foot ass bitch. Could you imagine standing before an honorable judge, girl, and having to hear your uneducated, loud, wrong, arrogant, non-intelligent speaking ass words just recited in a room full of grown ass professionals? Could you imagine, girl? I just couldn't imagine, y'all. I'm a gangster bitch, so I can imagine. But I mean, could you imagine? Like, oh my God. Wow. Other statements. Everybody's walking on eggshells around Meghan because they're afraid of offending the angry black woman stereotype. Could you imagine, as a black woman, having to see your anti-black ass words put on screens and read aloud in a room full of white people, a black woman calling another black woman an angry ass woman about a known abuser who was found guilty beyond reasonable doubt. And here you are as a black woman speaking against what now is legally a innocent black woman because her actual and factual abuser is where the fuck he belongs, which is behind bars. And white people are going to have to listen to you deny another black woman of justice, and are going to have to watch you defending a known factual criminal when his actions would have done the very same thing to you had your ass been in that SUV that night. The fact that Scams is defending a man who knowingly and factually assaulted another woman, another black woman, is wow, wow, wow. And I know Alex Spiro is going to bring in how she also defended that other actor girl from the movie, from whatever that damn movie is, girl, that Milagro ass was also defending, girl, the other abuser, who was a rapist. He gonna bring in all her bullshit, girl, because Scams has a pathology. She has a pathology. Yeah. Defendant also refused to cease making her false defamatory statements after Ms. Pete publicly and repeatedly pleaded on social media. And did. Oh, hold on, let me see. Wow. First defendant published false and defamatory statements accusing Ms. Pete of crime of perjury. They list all that here. Defendant false statements regarding Ms. Pete's testimony at the trial described show above defamatory statements, girl. They got her quotes lined up here, girl. Third, defendant published false and defamatory statements that stated Ms. Pete was an alcoholic. They lined those quotes up here. Defendant acted with actual malice or reckless disregard for the truth of the following reasons. They got those reasons lined up here, girl. Count 2, promotion of an altered actual depiction. Hold on. What's count 1? Let me make sure I'm clear about count 1. Baby, they have lined her motherfucking ass up, bitch. Count 1, defamation. So this is officially now a defamation suit, as well as a cyberstalking one. Bitch. Count 2, promotion of an altered actual depiction. All right. Count, hold on. Where's count 3? Count 3, intentional infliction of emotional distress, which they just sum totaling everything that we already done read in detail. Count 4, cyberstalking and injunctive relief. Defendant has communicated both directly and indirectly a course of conduct designed to cause severe emotional distress to Ms. Pete as laid forth herein. She has done so through electronic means and therefore meets the definition of cyberstalking. Okay, so legal definition that all her harassment, defaming, all of her bullying and menacing of Megan Thee Stallion has happened electronically via the internet, therefore is legally defined as cyberstalking. Wow. Wow. Jury by demand, Ms. Pete requests a jury trial on all issues to be tried. They want a jury to define attorney fees, interest, and all other damages. Girl, it's a wash. I don't have nothing to say. Baby. Done. Donezo. Done. cooked, but that broccoli been done. All right, I want to show you guys this because Megan is also petitioning for injunction against stalking, girl. This is where the restraining order comes in at. She's going for a restraining order, girl, against her stalker. Girl, you know what just dawned on me? She's giving scams the same word she gave Tory. Megan also had a restraining order and a protective order against Tory, which he violated, and his ass was back in jail. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is like copy and paste, girl. Megan is coming for the surrogate. She said, bitch, you love Tory so bad, girl. Let me put y'all in the same reality, girl. Megan is casting her spell work, girl. Woo! This is nasty work, girl. Look at this shit here, girl. Jury trial demanded. Megan Pete's petition for injunction against stalking. The undersigned petitioner, Megan Pete, declares under penalty of perjury that the following statements are true. Petitioner resides at location to be submitted confidentially to the court, of course. Respondent resides at location unknown as stalking occurred online. Respondent's last place note of employment unknown. Physical description of respondent, female of medium build with long dark hair. Race, black, female, date of birth unknown, height unknown, eye color unknown, hair color unknown, distinguishing myself, No other causes of action currently pending between petitioner and respondent, nor have there been previous attempts by petitioner or respondent to obtain an injunction for protection against stalking in this or any other circuit. Petitioner is a victim of cyber stalking because respondent has committed cyber stalking. A description of the facts regarding respondent cyber stalking are set forth in the amended complaint to which the petition is attached. Petitioner seeks an injunction immediately restraining respondent from committing any acts of stalking and providing any terms of the court's deems necessary for protection of a victim of stalking, including any injunctions or directives to law enforcement agencies. So you know what this means. If the courts grant this, Milagro will officially not be able to speak. This is an injunction / restraining order. Megan is trying to gag the bitch. And because they just laid this hoe out, even including all of her bullshit and her doubling down, even after being served, she continued to stalk, cyber stalk, menace, defame. More than likely is going to be granted. Megan has a lot less work to do in this because she's already been a victim. And what they're doing is simply making scams a part of the campaign against her by her known abuser. There's really no way for scams to undo what's been done because she's the one who did it. This complaint, this is the smoking gun. They have jailhouse recorded calls between Tory and his daddy spilling all the tea about Megan and her relationship to the squad. They aren't even denying in those audios that they have paid her. What they are cackling about and stressing is how they believe the courts are not going to be able to prove it. It's already been proven because Scams has already admitted to being paid and receiving money, receiving hard cash from Tory's father. Those audios are all over on Coffee City. They are all over here. Now, the Street Committee also sent me some audios. And I'm going to tell you how they were captioned to me, okay? I've heard one of the audios, but not the second one. All right. The first audio is captioned, Fraud Radio addresses the original complaint when she is called a paid surrogate and denies it. Okay. Check out this audio recording. Let me go ahead and switch over my microphone. Of course, fair use. This bitch got my content over on Fishing Head for some reason. But I guess we're returning the favor, girl, tonight. Tonight, I want all of it tonight. All right, check this out, girl.
I'm going to answer it. If you read the lawsuit, then you know that I was accused of being a paid surrogate, right? Okay. When I was first informed of the lawsuit, I told you that there was certain correspondence that they said they wanted. They wanted my interactions between me and such and such, me and such and such, me and such, right? Let me tell you what I think. I don't think that they believe.
First of all, let me just correct her. You weren't accused emphatically of being a paid surrogate. You were accused of behaving like a paid surrogate. And now they have enough circumstantial evidence to substantiate the narrative that you in fact are, especially since you done admit it out loud, running that goddamn dick sucker, that you have received money from Tory Lanez's father, and they also have put the jailhouse calls between Tory and his father, stating that they believe the courts are not going to be able to prove that. Well, they just fucked around and found out that they in fact are. And Alex Spiro, Megan's attorney, can subpoena financial records from scams and Tory's father, and from Tory to Tory's father. They're going to be able to subpoena all of that information.
I think that they think that I'm dumb.
So she better hope, she better hope, baby, that the correspondence between Tory and the father regarding financial transactions, because those bank records, those Cash App records, those PayPal records, those Chime records, baby, have a potential to open up a whole nother can of worms, girl, and even further substantiate some things. Scams need to shut the entire fuck up, baby. She's cooked.
Which is why they would want correspondence that they think exists between me and his representation. I don't think that they believe that I drew the conclusions that I did, or that I was able to put things together the way that I did. Everybody doesn't believe in gifts from God. And I say that to say that I would be talking about things, and I would say my discernment to, like, I remember we would be going over the case, and I would say, you guys, I feel like I can picture it. I wasn't there, but I feel like it happened like this.
Yep. I had reiterated that in the last update, Teresa. It's up to 1 year in prison if it's a misdemeanor, but if it's a third-party degree felony, it's up to 5 years in prison for cyberstalking. So this is a cyberstalking case. She found guilty. Scams could face not only all of the repercussions financially, because this is a federal case, $75,000 exceeded. So we know it's going to be in the millions. It's Megan Thee Stallion, for God's sakes, in terms of damages and punitive damages. But yes, cyberstalking is a federal crime that results in jail time. Yep, I said just that the last time. What's going on, Trayvon? Hey, boo, Rock Nation lawyers, baby, ain't they busy? Baby, they're putting these hoes behind bars.
And then I would attach that to the fact,
baby, they're on Tony Busby's neck. They done been on Tory's head top, and baby, they coming for scams next, baby.
That we had, and then I would just give you a conclusion. So I don't think they believe in gifts, and I don't think they believe that I have intelligence. So I think that they thought I was being fed information. Number one. I think they definitely believe that people were giving me insight. I don't think they believe that I really sat there and wrote out the types of notes that I did. I don't think they believe that, like there was an allegation that people were recording in court. Like there were people saying, if you go back and you read the transcript and you go back to my commentary, it's right on the nose. And it would be like, damn, were you the stenographer? How the fuck did you get that so good? My hand became possessed. That's the only way I could describe it to you. My motherfucking hand, bitch, I don't know how I sat there for hours on end, day after day, writing that shit like so fast and being like, do y'all remember on the others at the end of the movie? The clairvoyant had the pen and she was just fucking on the page and in her zone and just create like writing and putting out. It was like that. Like literally it was like that. And I would literally be in court and I would just be writing, like a madman, bitch, just writing. So I don't even know how I did it, but the notes are there. You can see it for yourself. So
how you was writing like a mad woman, as if you was automated writing, and then still wrote all the damn wrong information, bitch. Still did not write a single fact down. What? How you writing, and then literally was writing down nothing but lies, baby.
Any damn way. I
Girl.
think they thought that I was dumb and that I was getting assistance. Number one.
Right,
they
possessed.
Really that. And then I think that they underestimated and didn't believe, and like others haven't believed, that my YouTube was not monetized. Nobody, if you're not mob, people don't believe that y'all fuck with me the way you do. Either they believe it and call us a cult, or they dismiss us completely. They can't do that anymore because here we are. I mean, I think that the reach has been proven. We're in federal court. So there's that. But people underestimate how I run my business. You
don't have no business, bitch. And it's clear that you are like under the estimated bar, girl, like the lowest of hanging fruit, bitch, because even these audios are from the first complaint. Once again, girl, see, this is how she uli opt. She uli opt. They uli opt her ass, baby, and now they putting her through the wash and the rinse, girl. This is definitely proceeding forward, girl. Her motion to have this case dismissed based upon the fact that there was not a legal claim. Spiro just circled the block. The first complaint was a booby trap to get this bitch to start talking to further incriminate herself, which she did. And then it circled the block, baby, and legalized every last single motherfucking claim, baby. Now you got your technical claim, bitch. This is definitely proceeding ahead, baby. There will be no dismissal. There will be no dismissal. Her ass was laid out. All right. This is the second audio. All right. Now, this audio was captioned by the street committee team as part 2 of Mammy Radio addressing the original complaint. Notice she denies it and says if it's ever confirmed she did it, then basically she should be canceled. Okay, so let's check out the second audio because I haven't heard the second audio.
Staying a living based on doing my show on certain platforms and you guys giving donations. So when they call me a paid surrogate, I really do believe that they think that I was giving money. My black ass was not supposed to be in a 5-star hotel in LA for weeks at a time reporting on a case. I know they don't think I paid for that, but I did. And then when it wrote it off on my taxes, nigga, like I was supposed to. That was a travel, that was work. So to answer your question, I think they have underestimated me at every turn and that they really believe that there's someone behind me.
Instead of underestimating you, girl, they've just quoted everything you've said, including that you have received money from Tory Lanez, which those audios are on my channel and on Coffee City channel, and came right out of your mouth off for your own station head, bitch. Okay? No, they're not worried. They don't have to underestimate you, girl. They're quoting you and clocking you instead.
They don't believe the
Scams is forgetting the shit that comes out of her own mouth. Like doing a whole Men in Black reverse Uno on her brain and forgetting the shit she said yesterday and the shit she said the day before and the shit she said last week and getting up in real time, speaking confidently, girl, as if last Tuesday is not on the calendar anymore. This is why attorneys beg thee. They beg of their clients to shut the fuck up. They do not exercise your First Amendment rights, girl, when your ass is under litigation. Because this is what happens every single time historically. You talk your ass right into a shithole.
That's my answer to your question. And that's what happens. And that's why this is a David and Goliath. Because that very person that you dismissed and that very person that you underestimated and all them false conclusions that you drew, that you felt like was a mountain top that you could stand up on, baby, it's going to come crumbling right up under your feet. See, that's what's wrong with thinking you have people pegged and assuming. You must go do your homework. You can have whatever fucking thought you want to have about people. I can think you can't afford this or that. That don't make it a fact. I can think you're not intelligent. That does not make it a fact. So it's the underestimating people that puts us in a tizzy a lot of times. You make those assumptions, and a lot of times you...
Girl, it's being delusional and writing checks that your black ass cannot cash because you are the David in this motherfucking situation.
The ass out of you and me. You understand?
And unlike David, David was righteous. You are, bitch, guilty. That's the major difference between David and you, ho. Okay?
Them.
No, man.
They're about to make a grand ass of themselves because they've convinced themselves of truths that don't exist. And that's why I said what I said when the fucking lawsuit came down in the first place.
Now, remember, all this is her yabba dabba doing before the amended complaint. Baby. Let's see if she gonna have the balls, baby, to try to remix, girl, this amended complaint. These audios allegedly are before this amended complaint today, girl. No, bitch, what you did was underestimate professionals. What you did was underestimate a celebrity who has a track record of being the Teflon Don in the courtroom. What you underestimated, girl, was Alex Spiro, girl, who has spent most of his good pussy popping years in a study room and with a study partner passing exams and bar exams to be in the paid position he is to do what the hell he does best, baby. That's what the hell your ass underestimated. What you underestimated was the frail ass strength of the law firm representing you, who couldn't even do a damn thing for your coat leader, Tory Lanez. And they damn sure can't do nothing for your ass now, because the fact that that law firm took your case on because they also are bitter at the legal historical L they had to take against Megan, they wasn't even smart enough to realize that they couldn't even represent you, which is why your attorney had to add in and extend and bring in other attorneys who could litigate on your behalf. A technical clause that he should have already knew from the fucking jump. As if jurisdiction is not ever a thing when it comes to litigation.
They really believe the things that they've convinced themselves of. And I'm so sorry to you that you've done that.
I can't.
Because now you've defamed me.
I cannot.
You were so sure, weren't you? And you were wrong. And now you have defamed me on an international scale. And you have put my full government name.
Yeah, bitch, your full government name is allowed to be in court when the bitch who owns the government name is being sued, bitch. Now, here's the gag. If Scam believes she's been defamed by Megan, what in the fuck does she make of her own actions? If she can conceive in her frail, wobbly ass mind that she has been defamed by Megan, then what exactly does she fucking make of her own behavior? Because if Megan defamed her, then she absolutely unequivocally has defamed Megan. That's what's for damn sure.
On international news to defame me and said that I've proven that I am a paid surrogate because of the way that I've supported him. And to that I ask, is that so? Okay. And when I said countersuit don't go crazy, I meant that. Because I knew what I was a part of. And I knew that I had not done anything wrong. So, you literally...
What's gonna go crazy, bitch, it's just guilty verdict.
Have challenged my integrity on an international scale. This absolutely impacts the way that people view me in this space and what I do.
This is a prime example of throwing all the rocks, bitch, and not even trying to hide your hand until a rock clucks you upside your motherfucking head in return. And now you going home to cry to your mama and your brothers and sisters to go jump on a bitch who you've been bullying this entire time. This is literally the manifestation and personification of pussy hole ass motherfucking energy. This is some punk bitch ass energy. I would have a little bit more respect for fraud radio if that bitch just stood in her business and said, okay, bitch, we'll see. I ain't taking nothing back. I said what the fuck I said. And bitch, I'll see you in court. I would just, you know what? And now I understand why the Old Testament God said that they have more respect for the motherfucker that chooses a side, more so than the motherfucker that tries to play both sides and rides the motherfucking fence, bitch. If you're gonna be wrong, just be wrong, bitch. And be wrong all the way across the board, girl. Just stand in your shit. But don't have the audacity to be wrong and then try to be manipulative and reverse the fucking narrative because you're now being held fucking accountable. Unless you go genuinely repent to get to the other side, to get back to where the hell you're supposed to be, which is on the right side of history. It's unbelievable that she's playing the victim and don't have one provable instance of where her ass is being menaced, is being bullied, is being gang stalked, is being defamed by Megan. Megan trying to find out why this bitch on her dick, not the other way around. Because if scams had not been deep throating so hard, had she not been necking so bad, baby, Megan would have never even noticed that bitch on her dick. But because she wanted to be the head dick sucker in charge on her knees, slobbing and knobbing metaphorically on Megan's name falsely and erroneously and egregiously, she forced Megan to look down to see who was giving her sloppy top. She forced Meg, like the summoners of Candyman in the mirror, to finally look down to see, girl, who had her shit all wet and shiny like this from all of the lip and throat service. And now that Megan has stepped into the ring, baby, and she like how this shit feel, and she egging you to bring it on, you running around like a punk ass bitch. Claiming she the one harassing you, girl. Psycho. Fucking-co. Megan, chew her ass up. Chew her ass up.
I mean, and I've just suffered greatly already.
Washed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely washed.
And God is good.
And he is.
God is good. And that's why.
But your God ain't, baby, because your God would have never got you in this shit, baby, if you was actually listening to a God, unless your God is a fallen God. And that's why you done fail on fallen times, bitch.
It's so important to be a stand-up bitch for real, for not for the internet and not because it sounds good.
Oh, you finna stand up, all right. Megan is going to give you the opportunity to stand up before the court of law, baby. To stand up and take the stand, baby. And yes, baby. She finna make you a literal stand-up bitch, baby. Because you about to stand up and recite the Pledge of Allegiance You about to stand up and put one hand over your heart and another hand on the Bible, baby. You about to stand up and put your ass from the goddamn litigating table to the motherfucking witness stand. Baby, oh, you about to stand, baby. Don't worry about it, baby. Okay, you can go ahead and legally change your name to Stan Worlds. Okay, because you're gonna be standing forevermore.
I would be so devastated. And just to be transparent with you, I would be so fucking devastated if I had known that I had been taking money and was coming up here telling y'all shit, and I knew that y'all was.
Girl, who gonna believe that when you wasn't devastated and telling all them goddamn lies, like the lawsuit said, that you ain't try to even clean up until your ass was motherfucking held accountable in this complaint. Now all of a sudden, as of today, as of November 27th, hear me when I tell you that it has been corroborated and verified that the GUN in the Megan Thee Stallion shooting is actually in the custody of LAPD. Hear me. Crazy. And y'all wonder why I say to myself as a content creator, 90% of these motherfuckers are cuckoo for the cocoa.
Like, wow. I would shit a bird. Like, I wouldn't even know what the fuck to do. Because there would be no coming back from that. There would be no coming back from, bitch, you were supposed to be a solid bitch.
Right. Because, baby, you might not be coming back home, bitch, if you found guilty. And it's looking like that's the way you're going to be found. And unlike a lot of other public figures like T.D. Jakes and all these folk, baby, Wayne Felton and shit, baby, Miss Megan don't do no settlements, bitch. She don't do no settling, girl. The only thing she's settling for is your ass being right in jail and found guilty, bitch. So you better hope, girl, okay, that you get to come back home, honey.
How the fuck you been taking money from this? You can never make that look like them was your thoughts. You understand? So I wouldn't even be able to do this shit no more if that was the truth, to be honest with you. If that lawsuit would have came down and it would have had truth to it.
Girl, we are done. I'm tired, bitch. I've been live all day. I've been reading court docs all motherfucking day, bitch. I gotta change my posture now. The first complaint, it was weak, but now I know why it was meant. Why it was weak. It was a booby trap for scams. It was meant to be weak to give this bitch a false sense of security so she can think she ain't got nothing to worry about and she can get out here talking flippantly. And now all that talking she done did since the first complaint, she done incriminated herself even further. And now they done amended it because that was the legal strategy the whole motherfucking time. And then they ran us down with the facts and the receipts, baby. Shit that wasn't even in the First Amendment, girl. And now I have to say, scams doesn't have a chance. She don't have a chance, baby. She's cooked, girl. That broccoli has been done. All right. So we're going to be reporting loud, live, and in color, baby, every which way. Remember, scams tried to get the lawsuit dismissed, girl. Now we're going to be waiting on the judges. Girl, to green light this thizzle, girl. Alex Spiro, girl, you did your big one. The last time I said that scams attorneys did their big one, in response to the first complaint, this amendment complaint, chef's kiss. Not scam, got scam. Baby! 5 to 10 over a little angry name. I got to go. Y'all tell me what y'all think, baby. Y'all subscribe. We do it all here. Courts, God, hot topics, roasting, gagging. Baby, ain't nothing we don't do, baby. We reverse diagnoses, girl. Diabetes, bitch. Okay, we plant-based. We Dr. Seven girls. We herbalists. We spiritualists. We gods and goddesses, baby. You get it all. This is a multi-purpose ass goddamn platform, baby. And everybody fuck with us. Don't ever get it twisted. If you guys enjoyed yourself, please make sure that you guys subscribe. If you're new here, thumbs up on the way out. Make sure that if you guys enjoyed yourself, honey, you appreciate all the content that's been content, not the platform. Definitely show some love to the Cash App, $Consciouztv, and or paypal.me/ConsciouzTV. Spelled just how it is here on the platform. Sign up to Patreon. Email me all the tea. Follow me on Instagram. I love you guys. Long time. It's been a long day, but a fulfilling day. And I will see you guys on this hump day. Happy December 11th. Tell me what you guys think below. Bye.